Previously on Public Knows.
Knight was like, this dude's whack, his hair whack, his jewelry whack, and she went solo. Self-produced a grip of kids, somewhere around 17 of them, and named the first 5 Frightful Doom, Dark Fates,
Death,
Sleep, and the Terrible Tribe of Dreams. Honestly, it sounds like she's a little bitter from the breakup, because after these 5 dweebs were born, things took a turn for the worse. In this tuts, we'll borrow from some old dude named Herodotus, talk about a poem titled Cypria, and discuss interpretations of the Greek word momos. Herodotus, the old dude, was hanging out one day, just listening to Marvin Gaye and chasing dinosaurs, when it suddenly occurred to him to write a book about a series of wars between Greece and Persia. These wars were called the Greco-Persian Wars, which had taken place way before his birth. So he went around talking to random people, and this is what he wrote in his first book. There was this younger man who was a prince. His name was Alexandraus, and his father was the king of Troy. His name was Priam. One day, Alexandraus thought he well deserved none other as a wife, but she who was most beautiful on all of earth. And this woman was named Helen. She was married to a man named Menelaus, king of land called Lacedaemon, better known as Sparta. With bad intentions in his mind, the little wiener Alexandraus went to visit Menelaus, whom, unsuspecting of his bad intention, greeted him with joy. They shared a couple ha-ha-has and he-he-he's. They had some drinks and ate great food. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. When I was a kid, my mom used to say that to us, and when she did, we knew it wasn't going to be too tasty. Eventually, after about 9 days, the duties of a king forced Menelaus to leave. Honestly, it's kind of weird we see the number 9 right here, but whatever, we won't get into that. And before he left, King Menelaus asked his wife, Helen, to be a proper host to Alexandraus. When the king went on his way, the Prince of Troy raped and kidnapped Helen.
Chilly boy.
King Menelaus was like, that's my boo. I'ma show her how a young king move. And the Trojan War began. In a really old poem titled Cypria, older than the old dude. So old we still don't know who wrote it. Some people say Homer, some people say no. Either way, the rape of Helen is romanticized in a poem called Cypria. In it, we are told that under the command of Zeus, Alexandraus was to resolve a dispute concerning beauty. And under the advice of the spirits of Momos, the all-knowing Zeus made a series of decisions that led to what became the Trojan War. And a bunch of people died as a result. Morpheus, I am beginning to see the connection. Among the second group of children knights gave birth to was a god named Momos. Now, I'll be honest with you, the stuff we said about Herodotus and Cypria is honestly hotly debated, and we left a whole lot out. But for the sake of Hesiod's Theogony, I think we pretty much retrieved the diamond that we needed. Moving on to our note on translation. Momos is sometimes translated as the spirit of blame, which is also sometimes understood as another way of saying cavil. When you blame someone or something, you look for imperfections to point out, right? Likewise, when you cavil about something, you look for minor defects to point out.
What?
But the word cavil, or the Greek word momos, has a deep historical meaning. It's no secret of history that Roman culture was significantly influenced by Greece. I mean, Nietzsche, the philosopher, wrote his first book on that. That's why sometimes we can look at how the Romans interpreted Greek into Latin, then we interpret Latin into English. The people of Rome who lived during the time of the Byzantine Empire translated momos as scrutinizing or looking for blemishes. And that was around the year 146 before the birth of Christ. A blemish, as you might know, is a defect or a flaw. So when we assign blame to someone or something, in a way, we are trying to separate ourselves from a defect or a flaw. If I were to say, it's your fault I'm late, the underlying message is that the flaw, which is poor timing, is due to an error on your part, not mine. But back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let him understand from a young G's perspective. The word cavil is kind of a combination of scrutiny and blame. Scrutiny is just another word for study, by the way. So when we cavil at something, we are studying it to find a fault and place a blame on it. Now, I know this seems excessive, way excessive, but this is important because this word encompasses a huge meaning we have to understand before moving on. The English word cavil is thought to have stemmed from the Latin word calvor or calvi, which according to Cassell's New Latin Dictionary means to deceive or to trick. So, whoa, the definition of cavil that we'll use kind of means to study something so that we may put a blame on it in a deceiving way. And just for kicks, our second definition is mockingly complaining about something to trick someone into doing something else. Alright, we'll stop here for today, and in the next tutorial we'll cover the second round of children self-produced by night. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. Bounce, go wow wow.
What a sucker.